Hello, everybody, and of course, welcome back to another episode of X Talking Ish with your boy X.
Hey, boy, Ish.
Y'all already know what to do. If you are on Facebook, please make sure you go ahead and like and share this broadcast, and hopefully Ish can stop hitting things over there so I can finish up this intro. And if you are on Facebook, please make sure you go ahead and like this page at X Talking Ish. And as well, if you are on YouTube, please make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button at X Talking Ish, and also go ahead and hit that notification bells for shows like this in the future.
Ding.
Thank you for that, Ish. And as well, if you are on Twitter, please make sure you go ahead and hit follow on X Talking Ish. And as well, go ahead and hit that retweet button for shows like this right now so we can go ahead and have more folks checking us out on Periscope. All right, let's go ahead and get into the nitty and gritty and why y'all are here, of course. Monday Night Football halftime show. The one and the only X Talking Ish Monday Night Football halftime show. Ish. Of course, we have the Giants and the Bucks. At the moment, the Giants are down by a touchdown and an extra point. What you seen from the first half, Ish? How do you feel about the game and the game flow and everything that you see in the first half from both teams?
I mean, it's pretty much going how I expected. This New York defense can't stop Tampa Bay to save their life. And really, for the offense, it's been okay. It's been decent. I mean, they got to feel good going into the half, only down by a touchdown. The way the game was looking, especially on that drive, Tampa Bay's last drive of the half, it was looking like they were about to go back down, score again. It was going to be 24-10 going into the half. But, they kind of hurt themselves. So really, going into the second half, New York's just hoping that Tampa Bay does more things to stop themselves because that defense isn't going to stop them, let's be honest. And the offense, I think they're doing okay, and they may continue to do just enough to maybe get 3 points on the board or even get the occasional touchdown. But they're not going to win a shootout with this team. So they're going to have to find some way to get stops, and then just hope that they are able to drive down the field and score and capitalize on those stops. If that's really the formula for them to win this game. But the first half wasn't too encouraging defensively. Offensively, yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But I have no hope for the Giants going into the second half.
Now, the biggest question I have for you, Ish, is on the Giants side. I'm not even going to talk about your boy, Danny Dimes, One Hand Jones, whatever you want to call him. I'm not even going to get on him right now. I think it's not just on him. I have to spotlight and question, where's Saquon Barkley at? At the moment, your rushing leader is Ross with 1 carry for 16 yards. And what is going on with Saquon? This is supposed to be the second coming of Barry Sanders. And I know, of course, they're not giving him as many carries as they probably should. But if you are as dominant as a back that a lot of people expect you to be, shouldn't you also kind of maybe be demanding the ball as well too? And like, hey, maybe I need to get my carries, coach. I'm just trying to figure this out because it shouldn't be a reason why Saquon shouldn't be leading this team in rushing.
I mean, I've been telling you for weeks now that Daniel Jones is the best running back that the New York Giants have, and you've continually tried to flame me and say that I'm being disrespectful to Saquon, this and that and the third. Let's just be honest. He's not the back that he once was. He's not the back that everybody wants him to be. I think the injuries have taken a toll. I also think that offensive line isn't helping him in any way. They also aren't calling the plays for him. Like, okay, right now, like you were saying, Ross, 1 carry for 16 yards is the rushing leader. Saquon and Daniel Jones
has 3 carries for
10 yards.
I was waiting for you to finish up. I was going to say that as well too. When it comes to you're correct, Ish. When it comes to it looks like at the moment Daniel Jones is the best quarterback and running back at the moment on your team, and when you have that type of formula, unless you're Lamar Jackson, it doesn't seem like that formula is going to work consistently. And even with Lamar Jackson, it only seems like it can take you so far. So reality, New York has to figure out a lot of things going into the offseason because this season's over. It's a watch. Like
Oh yeah,
let's
it's
be real.
done.
Like
Yeah,
the Giants ain't contending for anything.
not at all.
Get your checks every week and finish up the season. But going into the offseason, we talked about this yesterday on our pregame show with a couple of teams we got to look into going into the offseason. This is another one. You know, we brought in Jason Garrett from the Cowboys, be the offensive coordinator. I mean, the offense has been seriously pitiful all season long. And overall, as a team, I mean, Joe Judge, I wouldn't say he reminds me of Robert Slade, but it just seems like you have guys in New York in the moment, or sorry, the opportunity and the situation that they're in. It seems like it's a little too big for them, even though they come from really good coaching trees. Not trying to take away everything that they've done to get to the position that they're in. But with the Giants, Joe Judge, it seems like he's a good person, good guy, but it just doesn't seem like it's going to work. And I think sooner or later they're going to part ways. Just my opinion on that one. Robert Slade has a couple more years before they decide to, figure out what they do with the Jets. But with New York, even when you get more talent next year, it just seems like the talent is going to go to waste still because you have no plan in New York ish.
You know, I don't know. I don't want to be too hasty and say that Judge is he needs to leave, or they need to get rid of him.
No
I
fire
do.
Matt Nagy chance from Chicago and New York right now.
Yeah, no, not in New York. I mean, I think for me, New York, we knew they were kind of far out of it. We knew that they needed more weapons. They need more players on that team, and I think that for me, you got to kind of take the results with a grain of salt because the team's not good. Like we know the team's not good. So like how much of that is the coaching? How much of that is that you just have a poor team, like a terrible roster? You need a lot of help. You need a lot of draft picks. But the problem with draft picks, even if you do hit on some of these draft picks, they're still young. Not everybody comes out and is ready to play immediately, right? So you've got to kind of give them a chance to develop. And I know the NFL is a win now league, or what have you
Yep,
done
yep,
for me
yep,
lately
yep, yep,
league.
yep.
But I just kind of feel like, I don't know. I don't think Joe Judge is going to get the time that he should get in order to see this
Back
thing
in the
through.
day, in the '80s and the '90s, coaches usually get minimum 4 years.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Usually
yeah.
minimum 4, 5, or 6 years before they are like Marty Schottenheimer had 19 years before they finally say, you know what, it's time for us to go ahead and move and part ways. Like certain
Hey,
coaches definitely overextended their stay, but some coaches don't even get an opportunity to be able to even establish their plan before it's time for them. I'll just use a great example, like kind of like Mike Singletary with the 49ers. Trying to establish that certain type of culture. They didn't get a chance to do it, and they moved on, and just it is what it is. But I do want to read this comment from Lee right quick. He says Saquon's up for extension. He's out of there. Definitely needs to change the scenery. How do you feel about that ish from the comment of
yeah,
Lee?
I agree. I think he needs to change the scenery. I think he needs to go somewhere where he's not to do everything back. I think he needs to go somewhere and probably partner up with somebody. He needs
Do you, do you think he can be beneficial with a partnership, kind of like we see with Zeke and Tony Pollard in Dallas? You think something like
Yeah,
that?
yeah. I definitely think something similar to that will really help him. I don't think he is the Christian McCaffrey kind of guy, or even Alvin Kamara in New Orleans. Alvin Kamara in New Orleans has and Mark Ingram. They even brought Mark Ingram back to kind of help out with that situation because I think they were leaning too heavily on him, and they realized like, hey man, we can't just lean on this guy and hope that he's going to do everything and not get hurt or whatever. So they brought Mark Ingram back. I think it New York. The problem in New York is Saquon has never had that number two guy that I feel like really took that pressure off of him. It's always been Saquon by himself, and he gets hurt, and then he comes back, and it's right back into the same thing, right? So I agree. He needs to change the scenery. Where he goes, that's going to be very interesting because right now, I can't think of too many teams right now that's really, really hurting for running backs at the moment.
Call me crazy. Call me crazy. But imagine him going to a team like Detroit
Oh goodness,
and
why would you?
partnering up with Swift. Then you have a legit backfield in Detroit. Then you get you a legit quarterback, and now you have something at least starting off to where you can at least start winning 2 games now a season. Detroit. That's my point. Is I don't think he'll do that. I don't think he definitely. I don't think that would be
Not
the first
Detroit,
choice or
yeah.
even third choice or even the fifth choice. I'm being sarcastic, but I'm being serious at a point to where it's like, just think about it. Swift is already carrying the load as it is with Detroit. Just imagine if he didn't have to, and both running backs could feed off of each other, and it allows everything else on the offense to open up, and it also brings a different type of energy too into that building. The same way we saw with Cam with Carolina. I just think it's a decent opportunity for Saquon to start all over again. And then you get the nod from Barry Sanders. Barry Sanders gonna be there and be like, oh, we believe in you. And it could be the running back version for Carson Wentz and what he's going through in Indianapolis. Maybe it could be the same for Saquon in Detroit. Again, I'm not saying that that's where he's gonna go, but I just feel like that's a serious location that maybe he can wind up. Lee also says, being a do-it-all guy, you gotta at least have a solid line, but they have been one of the worst units this whole time there. Yeah, I definitely agree, and I understand. But before we get up out of here, I just want to finish it off and just say, hey, when you're compared to a guy like Barry Sanders, and Barry Sanders had no line, I mean, what are the excuses? I mean, Barry Sanders did with no line. Saquon, you got to do it too. I mean, this is the guy that they compared you to since college. So, but it's just one of those things where everybody that comes out of college, no matter how highly touted that you are, it shows all the time is that it takes more than just one individual in football to win games. It is a team sport. It's the ultimate team sport. That's why I'm pretty sure my co-host, and that's why I know I love it, because you have to depend on everybody on the damn team. You have to. As much as you might not like that 53rd man on the roster, you got to fake it till you make it. You got to fake it till you win that Super Bowl, and then after that, y'all can go ahead and part ways. But at the time being, you got to do what you got to do to win that ultimate championship. So, all right, second half is starting off. Ish, let's go ahead and sign us up out of here, because I know folks ready to get back to the game and watch the second half. I think it will still be competitive, but I think Tampa Bay is going to finish it off and win by at least 10 points.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All righty then. We appreciate everybody for tuning in for Monday Night Football Halftime Show. Please, of course, tune in tomorrow as we will recap Week 11. At the moment,
We got some good games to talk about.
We do.
Especially a team losing on their bye week.
Ish wants to bring up old stuff, apparently. So we'll talk about it more. We'll talk about it more tomorrow. Lorenzo Guy also says not true. After I got out of college, I was #1 draft pick on Madden. We appreciate that.
Wow.
Esports gamer. That's what Lorenzo does for us.
Wow.
But on a serious note, again, we'll see y'all tomorrow, 9:00 Central, 10:00 Eastern time. And this will